So you want to have a multi-camera production at a remote location with stable internet. Is that possible? Yes. All you need is a ATEM Mini switcher. All 5 of them will do. And a LiveU Solo. That's what we're going to talk about in today's Taekwondo. Before I'm going to talk to you about the LiveU Solo, or one of the cool ATEM Mini products that I have right here, the ATEM Mini and the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, I actually want to talk to you about something else, and that is the importance of having good network. And it's really important to understand a few things that you might not have thought about. So let's start with the first one that I want to talk to you about, and that is, don't trust wired networks. Seriously, don't trust them. Really. Why do I say that? Well, for example, if I go here to the theater, the local theater, I actually have a fantastic experience if it comes to the network. During the preparations, perfect network. During the rehearsals, perfect network. However, once the main event starts and people are coming in using their phones, 4G galore, you don't have any internet anymore. That means that you cannot have a stream, and that means that you cannot do your job. So that is one of the main reasons why I purchased the LiveU Solo. That's the first thing that I've done. The second thing that I want you to really think about is that if you are still in the market to find which ATEM Mini is right for you, then please check the on-air ATEM Mini systems. What do I mean by that? Well, there is a on-air button on a few of them. Like, for example, this Extreme, it does have a button right there, and that is the on-air button. But the ATEM Mini itself, this one, does not have that. And to be more clear, let's just put on this. So the ATEM Mini does not have the on-air button, so it does not have a built-in streaming encoder. That's the catch. The Pro ISO, Extreme, and Extreme ISO, all of them do have a built-in streaming encoder, and that means that you can actually stream directly from your Blackmagic ATEM Mini series product. Apart from the ATEM Mini, that one does not have that feature. That is really helpful. That's really interesting. Above that, the on-air button also has an additional feature, which is not a button or something, but it's just a feature that it has, and that is that you can actually hook up your phone, your 4G phone, to the USB-C port, being Android, being iOS, and you will be able to also stream via your phone if your network dies on you. So that's a second reason why that on-air button is really cool. The third thing that I want to talk to you about is what are the benefits of using the LiveU Solo with LRT. We will be talking about the last one, but before I do that, I want to really talk to you about an example where all 3 of them you will see. So imagine this. Let's create a graph like this. Here you'll see the signal strength over time, like there, right? So over time, the signal strength will vary, especially if you have a 4G network. It will vary quite a lot because of, I don't know, atmospherical things that go on. I have no clue, but it's definitely not stable. You will have some issues, right? Like, for example, this one right here. Now, imagine that you are hooking up your ATEM Mini Pro ISO, Extreme, and Extreme ISO, and you're using the wired network. The ATEM Mini cannot use that. You use the OBS, for example, for that via your computer. But let's just imagine the following using a network connection. Now, even though it's just one line here, it may gibber a little bit, but it's generally more stable than 4G. However, now comes my example that I'm in the theater, and because of that, the network just breaks. Boom, crash. it doesn't work. What happens now? What happens now if you are not having a on-air system? Basically, this is it. You have to stop your stream. You have to maybe reconvene by getting a new stream key from, for example, Facebook, and that takes time, and you need your laptop, and there's a lot of things that you have to do. But if you have a system that has the on-air button right here, then you can also use your mobile phone as a fallback. So if your mobile phone is also connected to your ATEM Mini, then guess what? You don't have to stop. It can actually be recovered. And that's what you see right here. So yes, you will have downtime between those two bars right here, but it will automatically be picked up by your phone. But still, you do have downtime. So there's no video in this part, in this period of time, which can be a few seconds even. Now, that might not be a big problem for you. For me, for my show, my Tech on the show, and I don't like that. However, it's okay with me. However, if you are actually making a video, a stream for a paying client, and he's paying top-notch dollar or euro, then you might want to have something that is better in your gearbox, and that is where LiveU comes into play, the LiveU Solo. So let's talk about the LiveU Solo a little bit here. This is the LiveU Solo, which has here two USB modems. Here you see TMO12. That is my abbreviation for myself. So this is T-Mobile, and this is, for example, KPN, which is a provider here in the Netherlands, but maybe just say Vodafone, because that is something that is all over the place. So let's just call this T-Mobile and that one Vodafone. So I have here already two 4G systems, modems. I actually can add a third right here via the Ethernet port, and a good system for that is the Netgear Nighthawk M1. That will also be able to connect via your Ethernet port right here. A fourth one, last one, is a Wi-Fi modem that you can still use, because you can also hook up a Wi-Fi network as well. So that is 4 signals that you can have on one device. So that means that if, for example, Vodafone kills, then we still have T-Mobile, right? So that's the logic that you might want to have. However, that logic is correct, but it's actually a little bit more than that, because it actually uses LiveU reliable transport. It does not only switch between the signals, actually it combines all 4, or in this case 2 signals, into one big signal. And that combining those 4G modems is called bonding. That's the name, that's the term. And what it will do is that it actually will also allow you to stack the signals on top of each other, and it will automatically look for the best signal and use that and do its magic. But it will do a little bit more, and that is that even though the bitrate goes like so, also your video quality will go like this with it. So it will follow the maximum quality that you can get. And what does that look like? Well, let's go back to our graph. What does that look like? So for example, the first modem, let's call it this modem right here, this one right here, that's this one right there. It follows basically the blue bar, right? So it's basically having the same issue. But the second one, for example, is this one right here. And now, all of a sudden, you see that this issue, the signal strength, is not going that low anymore. It's actually better than it used to be. Now, it's gonna bond the two together, and it will create that new line. And look, your quality is not as bad as it used to be. It's actually better than it used to be. But on top of that, it, like I said, it will automatically change the bitrate of your video depending on the signal strength. So that means that even though you have less signal, you still have picture, you still have your program still streaming and going out to the world, which really means that you don't have a lot of issues with using the LiveU Solo. Now, in all fairness, the LiveU Solo is not inexpensive. You have to pay for the device itself, you have to pay for the modems, so before you know it, it's about 1,500 euros or dollars to get this. Now, there are other services out there, so you can also just rent it, but just say you want to purchase it. That's roughly the price that you have to think about. And next to that, the LRT protocol is a service that they do via the cloud. So that means that you also have to pay for that as well. So that's another 450 euros. But if you have multiple streams, like for example, once a month, then that is roughly about, well, about $100 additionally. So that's the LRT, and also of course the price of it, and then making it divided by 12. So for $100 or euros per month, you can actually have this, and that will save your neck if you are paid. So that's the reason why I think that you need to consider it. Now, I will be creating a separate video on the LiveU Solo next week, where I will go through the menu structures, etc., so that you know how you can use this product. It will allow you to stream directly to Facebook, to YouTube, Restream.io, any RTMP. It doesn't matter. It will help you to stream to that. And I think that is the reason why you want to consider that. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get future content. See you around. Bye-bye.